So this is part of a series that I'll be launching for security and defense. We will be taking a look at and using some of the open source applications like Buggy Web App, Damn Vulnerable Web App, and others like it. I built virtual machines to help exemplify this so that if you need to play along with the documentation I'm presenting, both on my website and also on LinkedIn, you have some videos to go along with it, just in case if you find the reading a little bit boring and you don't have time to do it. So we're going to be looking at this in two perspectives. The terminal on the right is actually set up for our pleasure as a defender, and also to see what the attacker traffic looks like. And then we'll start going through how to detect a web shell and how to defend against it. So on this one, it's a very simple application. It's doing pretty much a system call or a similar call that's executing ping, and it's going out and it's letting us know that there's a server that's alive. So in order to leverage that, and this is on the low setting, the whole purpose of this is more of the defense aspect, not the attacking aspect. We could escape the web application logic by putting a semicolon in, and then what we could do is we could do who am I? And you see we get a little return on www data. So now we know what user the application is running in. So if we do ls, we can see there's a bunch of things in the directory. We could do a cat with all the files, do a grep, and then look for passwords, see if we can get onto something. And you may get a bunch of crap like we have here, but there's passwords involved. But I digress. So now we're going to be looking more in terms of how do we get on this box? What can we do on the box? And how an attacker gets on the box, and kind of sort of what the traffic looks like. So as I'm doing this, we're going to tail out. I believe this is access log. Yep, that's cute. So we'll do another ls. And you'll see we have some traffic that appeared over here on the right side of the screen. So we are generating traffic. Not much at this moment right now, but still we're generating traffic as a post. So if we want to cause some havoc and get on this box, we can see if there's tools installed. So what we could do is which mc, which wget, and which curl. Now, what this really means is that we have netcat on the box, we also have wget on the box, and we have curl. Now, this might seem benign to a lot of people that are first getting into information security, and for most advanced people that are involved in security, we know right away that these are tools that an attacker could use to either get a command shovel or a reverse TCP connection, or we can use wget and curl to download additional packages to launch further attacks in order to get on the box, and then finally we can escalate privileges and then we own the device. So in this example, we will also set up a listener. And in Mac OS, it's NCLV. In this, we'll do port 666 and a listen. If you are not on Mac OS X or Mac OS and you are using a Linux box, it's NC TAC NLVP and then the port number. So for this example, because I am on a Mac, we're going to issue that. So what we'll do is we'll try to do a command shovel with NC. We'll do... It'd be nice if I had my IP address. Okay, we're going to connect back to 160. We'll go back to this. You're not going to notice anything dramatic off the bat. And you'll see we really didn't... Nothing happens. We're just in limbo. And there's a reason why nothing happened. On most Linux boxes that are running server, they don't have the netcat version that is doing command shoveling. So we'd have to get that. So we do a little Googling, and we find out, and we use wget, address, binary, and then that's how we'll basically get the file on the box. Sometimes it also helps to set up this command, which will spawn up a web server for you, and you could download files from your attacking machine on the remote end. But in this case, I'm going to have to do some magic here and then get this binary copied over. So let's get to that now. Alright, so in this instance, it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. So, well, let's do this. So now we have the server spun up. Let's get netcat on this box. Okay, 200, it's okay. It means it downloaded properly. So now we'll do ls grep and c. Yep, netcat is there, netcat 1. There we go. So once we have netcat on the box, we're going to try to get it to listen using this command. You might have to check mod the application to 755. And then once you press enter, you'll notice that it doesn't fully load all the way. And not much really happens on the box that, on the local box you're doing your listener on. But if we do who am I, you get www.data back. So now if we do if config, we see that 191 correlates to 191. We are on the remote box. So that's when we transfer files over. We're going to take a look at in the later series using audit in order to... That's the chair. We're going to take a look at audit in order to set up rules that will kind of give us an indication if someone's doing something on the box. So we're going to back out of this now, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look for on GitHub simple PHP web shell. So we use this one in the example. So we're going to go for the raw file, and we're going to do this, and then we're going to go back here, and then we're going to do wget. Curl might be a better option, but it's all fun and games. So now we'll basically not hold our breaths for this. We'll escape it, download it, and then see if we get... Oops. And we know that the web shell's on there, just for the hell of it. We want to check mod this so that we can run it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go up here, and what we're going to do is replace this with that, and now we have a web shell. So it's basically the same thing that we've done with netcat, but in this instance, we can issue the commands from the web application. It's a little bit prettier. You can see stuff. You can cat out the back door. That didn't sound right. So, yeah. Why is this a thing? Well, I wrote a script on the website that I'll be linking into this. So one of the things that we could do on the box, and you can kind of see like this commands being run from a post. So if you start seeing commands in your web logs, you might want to check to see what that's all about. Because again, if we go back in and we do, let's say, ls home, you can see that the command is being run. That was the last one. ls home right here. So it should kind of stand out like a sore thumb. And you see that there's a user in the home directory. And then if there's a user in there, you could do all sorts of stuff. But that's not the premise of this. So why does this work? So we're going to break out of this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go into Etsy, PHP. We're going to look at our PHP versions. I'm not sure which one is enabled. I forget. I believe this is going to be 5.6. We're going to look at our PHP INI, and then we're going to find, let's see, disable disabled functions, I believe it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way down. Yeah, here you go, disable functions. So let's see what we have. So off the top of my head, because I'm not in the document, we're going to do... So what we're going to do is we're going to add the information that we have in our write-up. And then what we're going to do is close the configuration file and we'll restart Apache. And then what we'll do is we'll go back to our shell and we will refresh it. And then let's do an ls. So we know it might not be 5.6. So let's go back and we're going to do... Put those back in that we had before. We will restart Apache again. And basically we'll do this down the line of all the Apache versions that we have. There may be times when your server is running different Apache versions. If you're using something like Webmin or Virtualmin for different directories and folders, I don't advise, but if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. Oh, ran into problems in paradise. Oh, not for long. So now we'll go back in and we will do... Again, we'll restart. Whoa. So you can see the PHP version is 7.4 that we actually did the magic on. So if you really want to test to see exactly if in the event you've disabled this and you've done it properly, so what we'll do is we'll go back to the web root. Oops. And inside the web root, let's do... we'll call it shell test. Shell test.php. We'll check mod it. Oops. And then with the script that I've written on the website, a little magic, I'll add that. And we'll go all the way out. It's not the prettiest, but you can see a lot of how... a lot of the methods that are used to provide us with a shell, we've actually gone through and limited. In the next series, I'll be taking a look at how to use audit and audit D in order to find out what is being done so you could detect things like command shoveling. I hope this was a pretty decent video and you learned something. Please share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.